The mind pushes down the traumas and pains and memories that it's too scared to face. However, the soul never forgets. And I'm saying this because most of y'all motherfuckers, including me for 20-something years of my life until recently, have maybe had some shit happen to you, you know? Whatever. It could be from the small T traumas to like whatever that is, like some heartbreak or some fucking, some very minimal bullying or something, to like the big T traumas, like the maybe some of you guys have lost some family members, people close to you, especially at a very young age. Maybe you got mentally or physically abused by people that were supposed to be there to make you feel safe, and that sucks. That fucking sucks. Especially at a very young age, before you learn a ton of shit and you're still really stupid. Like me right now, I'm still really stupid. Your brain just wants to push that down because it's painful. It's very painful, and when your nervous system and your logic and everything can't handle it, what do? You go, it's gone. And I started to notice this in so many people. Dude, almost every single person in the world does this. Some people to a way greater extent. And this is why you'll see a lot of people that are, a lot of people that become the very, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like the very hyper, like masculine type of guys that try to force other men to be strong and powerful and whatever the societal standard is to be. Man! And I did this for a long time. When I first started learning about all this self-improvement crap, I was trying to get every single one of my friends on it. I was like, you gotta wake up at the same time. Men have to be like this. We gotta treat women like this. Like, boys, I would tell my friends, break up with your girlfriend. And they're like, what is wrong with you? We've been together for 3-4 years. We're in love. And I'm like, no, that bitch is not right for you. She doesn't do this, this, and this on the Andrew Tate checklist. People like that, like I guess me last summer, is because we pushed down lots of stuff that made us feel a lot of pain, and we covered up with other things that make us feel better. A lot of addictions or whatever. Anyways, what I want to say is, right now I'm trying to, and I hope some of y'all try to, especially if you're young, because I have this sneaking suspicion, maybe this is not true, and if you're gonna do what I'm about to tell you to do, you might actually just end up like a sensitive little pussy like me for the rest of your life, and it's gonna completely backfire. But hopefully you don't, and hopefully you take this information and it turns you into the man that you want to be. Welcome back to Illegal Therapy. Oh, crazy. I just lost every viewer right there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to face this shit. I've been trying to over the past 4 or 5 months. I've been really trying to face all that younger self darkness, that trauma. What a feel-good word to say. I'm broken. I'm traumatized. We like to make jokes like I can't even say it in a real way to you because it's cringe. But I'm trying to face it. And I'm sure you've seen lots of these recent videos. I mean, opening up a lot more, being a lot more sensitive, being a lot more of a pussy. And at first, the first process, it's really tough to rip off that Band-Aid because obviously people around you are going to be like, whoa, why are you always sad all the time? Or why are you not hanging out with us as much? Or why are you not drinking? Or I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever it reflects in your life, who knows? But for me, I'll tell you my experience. So I give myself a lot more time to be alone. That's step 1, if you want to call it. I give myself a lot more time to be alone, and I'm a lot more selfish with my time. I don't hang out with my friends. Like, I force myself not to hang out with them, or, for example, like, I'll always ask myself why, like, before I do things. So, for example, people invite me out or stuff, like drinks or whatever, and I'll have to ask myself, do I really want to go, or do I prefer to spend some time with myself? And I'll try to spend that time with myself because, when you're alone, and this is, I guess, step 1.5, when you're alone by yourself without any distractions, so put away the phone, put away the activity, maybe, get out of your comfort zone. So for me, that was like doing walks. I hate walking, especially in nature. It's tough. There's, you're like, what time is it? Am I late for things? I get out there, get out of that comfort zone, and I start walking. And then the thoughts come back of stuff in the past, of whatever, and because I don't have a phone to like go to happy mode, and I'll tell you, so sometimes I'm like full blown and like in my feels, really thinking about some like 6-year-old me going through some shit, and I'm like, oh, the woe is me feelings, and then I go, no, you can't say woe is me, don't be a victim, you're a pussy, and I go, whoa, nobody else is around us, it's okay. And this is, I guess, step 2 is like, allow yourself to feel what you feel. If in that moment, because you're by yourself, you know, you're there's nobody here to judge you. And if you feel like the victim, or you feel like a little boy, you know, you feel like a loser, whatever you feel that society doesn't think is cool, let yourself feel it, because there's nobody around you. Tell yourself whatever time you give, 10 minutes, 20, an hour, 3 hours, give yourself that time to feel what you feel. And that's one of the best things I ever learned in therapy. And this is the therapy for you. So right now, active practice, maybe if you're going into it, like, I really want you to be okay with whatever you're feeling about yourself, whether those are some hateful things. And a lot of people in this therapy practice will say some really dark shit. You know, they'll be like, I hate my parents, or they'll say some like, I hate myself, or I hate some really vulnerable and painful stuff. And regardless it's true or not, because I love my parents, I don't fucking hate my parents, but that's an example, because a lot of people say that. You might say it, and then you're gonna feel bad for saying it, but like you gotta keep going, because if you keep going, you get to, I guess, this step 2.5, like the really deep route. So keep going in your mind. Let yourself get deeper and deeper in your fears and your pains. You know, keep asking yourself, why do I think I hate this person or hate myself in this? Does it come from this? Let those thoughts marinate. Really get deep into it, because this is like an active practice. It's like fucking, it's the gym, man. You're getting out of your comfort zone. You're touching the weight. You know, maybe you're trying to bench 4 plates. This is like you're getting closer and closer into it. And benching that 4 plates is like really actualization and discovering why you feel certain ways and who you are. But it's gonna take a lot of discomfort, a lot of reps of 135, 225, the super deep, painful crying feelings at 315 to get to that 405 eventually. A lot of those reps. Okay? And yeah, so it takes a lot of selfishness, because like the gym, like chasing a big goal, this for me is a big goal, to become, I've been saying this on the daily series, like becoming a man that I love. It's a big goal, and I know it's going to take a lot of painful reps to get there. So I bring you to step 3, which is do something that like really hurts your ego, that's kind of attached to it. It's hard for me to explain, but I'll give you an example. So for me, I love making video, because it's what I craved as a kid. When I felt like when I felt abandoned, or I felt unloved, or I felt scared or not safe, I turned to YouTube. You know, and YouTube raised me, like a lot of you guys maybe, but YouTube really raised me. And I would look at all these big creators, and like they became my like second parents. They became the brothers and sisters I wish I had, teaching me about life, and that became such a safe space that I guess something in my brain clicked, and it was like, since I was 10 or 9 years old, all I wanted to do was make YouTube videos. And for so long in my life, I spent my YouTube career being too scared to be fully myself. And that's a huge reflection of me being too scared to be myself in real life. A quick story that I've told before, and this is no hate to my friends. This is, you know, how boys are. Boys love to test each other through like poking fun and stuff, but maybe this is just how I felt. But I felt me and maybe a couple other kids in our friend group that got bullied a lot, except I was the bully for, oh shit, goddamn, sorry to my boys. But I definitely, personally, I felt like, and I'm going back to the step 1, like just saying how I feel, even though it sounds terribly cringe, just gonna be honest. I felt very, you know, I couldn't be myself around my friends. I was always praised for like my acting stuff, or, you know, doing this or hosting the party. But I feel like, anytime I was trying to make a joke as Damien or be Damien, always shut down. And that's still to this day, like I feel it, like when we're in a group or something, a group of 3 or 4, I always try not to, I'm always scared to like make a joke or something, which is so interesting, because it's what I did online for so long is make jokes. It's super weird. So I guess that's where I got that validation. But anyway, so I wasn't very much myself. I would always be making jokes online, which I'm not saying is bad. Comedy stuff brings people together, and it's fantastic. It's a form of art in and of itself. But in my younger childhood self, I always had this longing to really be accepted as me, you know? And, you know, just like younger me was, because the little gratification I got when a friend would finally accept my vulnerability or who I was like as a person. It doesn't even have to be a vulnerable thing, but just who I was as Damien, not putting on act. It just felt miles, like miles ahead of any joke or anything or any praise of anything else. It's very interesting. You know, I had a lot of that golden boy syndrome, I guess, where in like high school I was school captain and shit. Like I knew all the other kids, but like I feel like I could never fully be myself. So brings me to, I guess, back to the step 3, where for me, my ego is so attached to making videos and stuff, you know, especially on like the other channel and the shorts and stuff. When I see because I used to get what 30, 40, 50 million views on stuff, and that's a huge dopamine spike, but that's also a huge self-worth spike. You know, it's like, oh wow, my self-worth is so high because I get to do that, and like, you know, the clout and the stuff is really addicting drug. But I guess just at one point I was just not happy with it anymore, and I just knew deep inside my soul that I have to take the scary route and do what I know will actually satisfy my younger soul, and that's getting over the fear of being fully myself online. Like videos like this, like I feel like I don't have to act. That's so relieving, you know? And to be honest, they get 1/100th of the views, and at first and still to this day it hurts a lot. The ego strike is really painful, but I know I must keep pushing toward this and keep feeling that hit to the ego, because it's secretly what I want the most, you know? So whatever that is for you, maybe it's like you're super attached to music and your family has never approved of you doing music and stuff. Maybe it's like you show your best friends your songs or something, and you be okay when they say it's shit. I think I'm saying that because I just watched what's the movie, Iron Claw with Zac Efron. Beautiful movie about like masculinity and generational trauma. It's fantastic. I'd highly recommend it. Amazing. So yeah, that's the step 3, and I think the daily series that I've been posting has been a tremendous help to my mental health, because it's so tough. It's 3-4 hours every single day dedicating myself to making a daily vlog to document the series to the bodybuilding show. So right now, today, I think we're 6 out of 200. So in 294 days, go on stage. And, you know, it's a hit to my ego because, one, I have to do it every day. So there's no excuse there. I already said 1 out of 200, 2 out of 200. Got to keep doing it. It takes a lot of time. Doesn't have to, of course, but it takes a lot of time, so a lot of passion and soul. And 3, it gets, like, I'm also fucking shadow banned on every single platform. Maybe not this one. But yeah, I'm so shadow banned on Instagram and shit, so, like, it gets extra no views, you know? But what's nice is it shows me that, one, I can post things, express myself, so whatever that is for you, doesn't have to be posting online. I can express myself and be okay with it not doing how I hope, and just keep getting over that fear every single day. So yeah, I guess 3.5 is I would, you know, pick the thing, whatever, the music thing, for example, and maybe it's just you write I don't know how fucking music works. You record yourself singing a song every day or some shit, but you don't post it, you know, or whatever it is. But yeah, that was just my 2 cents for the day. I think it's dope, and I'll keep exploring this topic with you guys. But I know every human has a lot of deep something. Maybe not every, but I feel like a lot of you guys, if you're watching a channel like this, got a lot of deep something. And I want to say that no matter what it is, because the comments that used to hurt the most was like, oh, they were saying on like the main channel, like, yo, stop being a bitch and crying about shit. Like, there's people that's gone through a lot worse. 2 things. 1, 100%. There's so many people that have gone through way worse, like lost both their parents, you know, abused, way worse stuff. 2, like, you don't know what I went through when I was younger. That's just like the one thing that I've just never shared with camera, and I just cannot. But I don't ever want to disvalue, whatever the word is, like devalue or what other people's experiences are. So maybe it is a small T trauma that you went through, something that's not that big. Honor it, be okay with it, because it's still some pain and stuff that's inside you. And, you know, the faster you get to this work to get, I don't want to say get rid of it, but to accept it and be okay with it, the faster that you can move on and become the person who, you know, is loving and the person that you want to be, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys can join me on this journey of getting over our egos and shit, and, you know, really trying to become the people that we want to be. That'd be fucking sick and awesome and dope. Okay. Love you guys. Peace out, you beautiful, sexy mother.